Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another interesting knife review slash knife overview to share with you guys. This is the QSP Gannet front flipper. This is a knife that's been around for, I don't know, like close to a year, but I'm just getting around to reviewing it. So if you want to hear my thoughts on it, then stick around because we're going to talk about it. This knife, I believe, is available, so I'll link it right down in the description if you guys want to check it out. That's entirely up to you. Thanks so much to QSP for sending this in for me to take a look at. Thanks to my generous patrons who are supporting me. There's a link for Patreon right down below, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Let's go ahead and get a measurement of the QSP Gannet. It's a real handsome looking knife. Overall length is coming in at, it's actually shorter than I thought it would be. It's like 7.8, not quite 8 inches. Blade length is coming in at about 3.4. Cutting edge is coming in at about 3 1/8. How about some size comparisons? Let's just do a couple today. Up against the Ontario Rat Model 1 and the Ontario Rat Model 2. So you can see here it's kind of an in between these knives. Let me move these just a little bit. How about up against the Spyderco Para 3? You can see here a bit bigger than the Spyderco Para 3. And last but not least, I think just the bug out. That'll do it. So similar profile to the bug out. It is thicker and a bit longer though. Similar cutting edge, just a hair longer in terms of cutting edge versus the bug out. Let's go ahead and measure carry profile. Runs on bearings, reasonably smooth. Thickness coming in a little bit thicker than the Spyderco Para 3. There's liners and then the scale material on top of it. Carry profile this way though, length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. This is pretty nice. I would say it's just it's a little bit longer than the Para 3. Definitely shorter than the PM2. Nowhere near as tall though. Nowhere near as tall. That's where people are going to find that this is exceptionally easy to carry compared to these two. Let's go ahead and measure blade stock thickness. Get out my calipers, which are... Why am I blind? There they are. Blade stock thickness on the Gannet coming in. Come on now. There we go. 117 thousandths, 116, probably 115 thousandths. Definitely not a thick blade. What are we looking at for materials? We have this sort of combination. It looks like, it's like a red and black micarta. I don't know if it's G10 infused. I'm sorry, not micarta, carbon fiber. If it's G10 infused carbon fiber. It makes me think that because the seam work is just like perfection, but it is two completely separate materials. It's very, very good. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's G10 and carbon fiber mixed together, right? And then we have micarta down here. Looks nice, kind of weird, but it also kind of looks good. And then they have a couple of different flavors. And when I say flavors, yes, I mean materials. It's not an accident. I'm saying that on purpose. Blade steel, 154 cm. Very nice. Very happy with that. No problem at all. We have steel liners and a steel liner lock. Weight, I'm going to guess this weighs something like 4, maybe 4 1/4. Let's find out. Oh, by the way, they are, can we see in there? Maybe not. What on earth? My magnet grabs a bunch of stuff on the way out. Yes, we do have the milled out liners on the inside. So anyways, weight coming in at, less than I thought, 3.53 ounces. Pretty good ratios in this guy. So ratios, people are going to be happy. As long as you're not wearing athletic shorts, no pants at all, and you're not living in an area where a blade length like this is prohibited, you should be okay. Be pretty comfortable to carry. Let's go ahead and move into the meat and potatoes of this review. So this is a front flipper knife, and it is unfortunately front flipper only. I say unfortunately because that has not become a second nature means of deployment to me. Remember, there was a time when transitioning from, like traditional knives were either lockbacks or slip joints. And so the thumb stud at one point was a newfangled opening mechanism that was totally unnecessary and all just for fancy folk, right? Well, now that's kind of silly to think about because the thumb stud is considered a traditional means of deploying a one-handed opening knife, right? Alongside, I think we can probably include opening holes and knives that have flipper tabs, which for whatever reason I don't have right next to me, right? But I remember when regular flipper knives, people were like, oh my gosh, like that's just, silly people confusing, tools for toys. Well, now a flipper tab is like, now that's pretty, utilitarian way to open a knife. Front flippers, these are the new, it's like, well, that's fidgety. Well, at some point, I think if these remain prominent, I think I doubt that this is as permanent a means of deployment as a thumb stud, but who knows? I don't know, right? Knife trends are weird. What sticks and what doesn't, right? If the front flipper thing sticks around and enough people use it, it's just like anything. You're going to adapt to it, right? So now, it's like, this is pretty easy to use. I mean, like the design of this one's really good, but a lot of them now are really nice. And if they're all like this, I could see that becoming, close to second nature. I still would prefer another means of deployment, like a thumb stud or something on this. If they were to cut this down a little bit, which I think they should do, I'll talk about that here in a sec. It would have been nice, but it's just a front flipper. So if you really like front flippers, you're going to be okay. If you like front flipping, like for fidgeting, and you would rather have something else, like me, for actually deploying and using it, so you don't have to think about it, then it might bother you a little bit. Ergonomically, this is a very comfortable knife, and that's because of the shape of the handle, the contouring, the fact that the pocket clip is done insanely well and is not super aggressive. The thing that bothers me is that while it looks like ample, space to get in beside that liner lock, I think this should have been cut out a bit more. There's not a lot of material to engage with right here, and I wish that it was just cut out a bit more. Had they done that, there would have been definitely enough room for, a full thumb stud. You wouldn't have been able to get the QSP logo in there, but you would have been able to do that, and I think that would have solved a lot of issues. In any case, there's still enough of a cutout there that you're definitely going to be like, this is where I'm supposed to put my index finger. And you can also choke up a little bit on this blade, which is nice. You get right behind that cutting edge, nothing in the cutting path, right? It's really not that big of a deal, right? And like I said, the action is smooth enough. Not incredible, but it will fall shut while you're moving the liner out of the way, and then it just takes a little bit of encouragement while that detent ball is engaged fully with the tang or with the face of the blade, part of the blade that you can't see under the scale. It's okay. Just wish the cutout was a little bit bigger. The blade. Wow, that is gorgeous. But I thought you said you don't like satin finishes. I don't like the machine, like the vertical line one. This appears to be hand rubbed. I don't know if that's actually the case, or if they have a machine that can basically, the end result of the finish is that it looks like it's, and I'm saying that because the lines are horizontal. This is real nice. If I'm going to go with a satin finish, I want it to look something like this. It's just a really nice, I don't know. I'm so tired of the belt satin finishes. This just looks better. And maybe this is a belt. Maybe they've gotten it to do, I don't know, right? It just looks better than the satin finishes that I've been seeing on knives of this caliber, right? The corners, the edges of this blade are nicely knocked down. This does come to a full flat grind. We have a nice, I don't know if we want to call this it's a casual clip point. Or is it a drop point? I don't know, right? It's got a point, it drops to a point, but in a lot of ways it looks like a very long clip point. I don't know. There's a flat that carries out not very far, only about, 20%, 15, about maybe 25% the length of the blade. Meaningful thickness still all the way out to the tip, so you're going to have plenty of, look at that. Look how nice the finish looks on this. Plenty of puncture power, but it also has a nice slicing edge. It does get relatively thin down here. So yeah, this is a nice blade. I mean, there's nothing in the cutting path. You got a nice sharpening choil. Really makes, I think 154 cm is well emphasized. The composition is well emphasized by this blade. It's just really, really nice. I like that a lot. QSP logo doesn't bother me. It's just good. We've got the QSP logo on the pivot, right? A lot of people go, oh, it's the Illuminati. The Illuminati's leaving clues on the pivots of pocket knives. That's stupid. It does, you know what it makes me think of? Minus the wand down the middle, it makes me think of the Deathly Hallows from Harry Potter, right? Really, it's just a triangle inside of a circle, and I think people need to cool it on the whole symbolism thing. As if, it's like secret organizations are responsible for leaving clues that would ultimately, lead people to discover their organization, right? It's like, well, if you want something to be kept secret, then you just don't leave clues. Okay, I don't know. That's just a triangle with a circle around it. I think at this point, I mentioned that in another video, and I think people are just trolling and having fun. But I did have somebody a long time ago sincerely suggest that, which is why I love cracking jokes about it. We have a couple of scale screws right here, which we didn't do the hardware check, did we? Let's get out my tools. As per usual, my tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the description. The pivot is going to be a T8, and I'll go ahead and check that for you here real quick. Yeah, and then these screws right here are going to be T6, and I am almost 100% certain there are more screws underneath these scales holding in the backspacer. That means that this has unnecessary excess, in terms of parts, but in order to keep these all connected, right, if this were all one piece, then it would have the additional stability of the pivot screw, so you could scoot these screws back here and they could be holding in the scale and the backspacer. With this not being the case, this is it's a totally free piece of material, so that's why they have the screws in the middle, and then they have additional screws underneath it holding down the backspacer. The backspacer is actually, let me get a flashlight on this. No, the backspacer is G10. You can see the fibers of it in there. I thought it might be plastic. That would have been a real bummer. I like the contrast of the liners here. I love the contouring of the scales. The scales are really nice. Really well done. And then there's not really a whole lot more going on. There's no lanyard hole. Oh, no. The pocket clip is wonderful. Carries deep. Screws are not recessed, but that's okay. Drops down and then comes to a very small bill that continuously rises. It's not a super long clip. It's not a super aggressive bill, so you don't really feel it. It's actually this is really comfortable and really nice. Ergonomic experience on this guy is really, really good. I love this knife ergonomically. Liner lock engages at about 55 to 60%, which is fine. No blade play up, down, left, or right. The stop pin is actually internal. It follows the blade and acts the same way external stops do, which means it braces on either side of the steel frame. That's nice. A little bit of added fortification, I think. Maybe not, but I like it when the stop pin is done that way. Easy one-hand in and out of the pocket experience. The centering on this guy is great. I have been flipping it continuously, so it's probably slightly off, and I bet you anything we can pull that back by just giving the pivot a little bit of a turn. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, it was a little bit loose. Oh, yeah. I think I actually overdid it. How are we doing? Yeah, okay. That looks pretty good. How's the action? Exactly the same. So, yeah, that's generally the case there. What is the price of this knife? These come in at, I think, about 80 bucks. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good price. It's not quite a budget knife, but then again, it doesn't feel or look like a budget knife. This is nice. The combination of G10, carbon fiber, and micarta in a good size, good ergonomic experience, good weight, good ratios, really nice finish on the blade. That's just a nice, it just brings it home. This is great. I wish the action was a little tiny bit smoother, but it's not, and that's okay. I wish that it had a secondary means of deployment. I think this would be fantastic if they you can leave the front flipper there, but give us a thumb stud. I think that had just been excellent. In any case, the way that it sits, this is a very, very good knife. Very recommendable. I'll put this on my most recommended knives playlist. Not everybody's gonna love it, but it's a generic enough shape, a small enough size, or a generic enough size, right? And just like the materials, people are gonna like them. This setup is good. It's been done before. They're not, they're not reinventing the wheel. They're not doing anything ultra special here. They're just doing a really, really nice $80 knife. So yeah, those shopping in that territory, I think you might find some love here if you really like front flippers. If this had had thumb studs on it, I would have been like, I would have said at the beginning of the upload, this is amazing. Everybody should be picking this up, but it's recommendable enough. I think a wide enough variety of people will enjoy this. And if you've never picked up a front flipper before, and you're just like, I'm just waiting for the right one, this is a good one to start with, because everything else just hits a nail on the head. Really nice. Thanks so much to QSP for sending this in once again for review. I will link this right down below. It should definitely be available, so check it out. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives. They're either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.